Thank you.
Yes, but I'm going to drop out to copy paste. Okay, I see you later. Have fun. Just in case anybody doesn't know, Jessica is part of the awards committee this year and has been helping gather, collate, organize. Give a shout out to her. Give a shout out to Joe Marshall, to Jim. I'm trying to remember who all was on the awards. My memory is just so bad.
So many people who put in all the OOC work to make sure this even happens. Because I know people have been complaining about the delays, but if they happen, they happen.
And Brian,
and we all are happy
Brian's
about that.
a big help. Tony, Rich, and it's not just them. These are the people who are just on the quote unquote awards committee, but you guys out there, everybody who is a member of this fleet who put in nominations. Without nominations, there aren't awards. So give some applause to yourself, pat yourself on the back, because we had over 600 nominations this year. That is broke a record. As phenomenal. You guys make the award ceremony happen because you put in the time and effort to write recommendations of someone who you feel deserves accolades and recognition for what they have done in this fleet with their characters, and it just wouldn't happen without that. So give yourselves pats on the back. Don't forget that.
Very true. And alas, we wish we could hand out 600 awards because everyone, of course, deserves the massive congratulations and celebration of everything that they do. But eventually there has to be one winner. And we had one winner for the special awards yesterday. And today we are aiming our spyglass towards a group of people who does so much in the everyday running of the fleet. Like truly so much that most of us, we can't fathom what goes on behind the scenes.
Absolutely not. I mean, I had no idea really when I first joined what it took what it took to run something like this. I had been members of play by email games in the past. I'd even run one, but it wasn't nearly as successful as this one. It lasted about 7 years, which was a pretty good run for a play by email, honestly. Back in
I'd say that's still pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was still, but it wasn't, it wasn't as big either. It was a Pern. Dragon Rider's a Pern game. So, it was a different atmosphere as well. We are, this is something special here, and you are part of something special. I'm part of something special, and these awards are just a manifestation of how unique and how many wonderful people we have involved in those groups. Now, we were unable to finish some of the special awards yesterday, so even though we are focusing mostly on staff awards today, we do want to take some time to recognize a special award that is given, and it's one of the few awards that more than one person can earn here in our group. It's a unique award given to those who struggle in some manner, who find themselves at a disadvantage in some way, and yet they still continue to write and participate. And I remember, I was talking a few minutes ago with Jelana, and she was talking about how her own struggles, and how she used simming as a way to kind of work through that. And I think we have people who have disadvantages and work through things in their simming, and it's just beautiful to see. They are all they're models. I feel like they're models for us, because sometimes they just blow me away at what they have to deal with just to participate in this group. And so we're going to honor those people today, as well as our staff members.
The Sailor Clan Syphilis Award was originally called the Rachel Garrett Award, but it was renamed for the awards in the year 2000 to commemorate a simmer who unfortunately passed away that year. So I think for people who've been here for very long, like for Wolf and his fellow simmers who was here from the beginning, this award likely holds a great deal of significance to them, because it's in memory of the community we develop with the fleet, that we touch each other's lives in one way or another. and to remember that.
We are probably, I don't know. I just feel like I can't really quantify or qualify or accurately describe what this group means to me. We have the Zaylor Clan Zephylis Award. The first person to earn this award this year is Alexander Williams. It was presented by Rear Admiral Kalyana Nicolati. And this is what she has to say. While each of our simmers brings something unique and amazing to the simming table, I have to tip my hat in particular to those who come to the table not knowing the many intricacies of language that many of us might take for granted. Being part of an internationally diverse crew has been the highlight of my career in command, and I am proud to honor Roel, and might be Roel, I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, the writer behind Alexander Williams. While we will always see speed bumps in online communication like we use, few face them with the necessity of trying to understand the language and the culture behind it successfully. And that's what sets 188 apart. And that's what makes Roel more than worthy of this distinction. Congratulations. Congratulations. I've studied multiple languages over my life. I've studied 7 different languages, including ASL. I've studied Spanish, German, French, Italian, Hmong, what else have I done? And Japanese. And Latin. I've studied all these languages. I can't even imagine writing in these languages with the clarity and the beauty that people like Roel and other members of our community who speak a foreign language and natively, that's not English, do. It is just amazing to me.
So. It really does touch a lot of different countries and a lot of different nationalities and a lot of different languages. And some people accomplish writing in the English language better than others, and some definitely push the envelope on like learning how to wield English in a way that they perhaps wouldn't have been able to do outside of the community. And I do think that that's definitely something to celebrate.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, like I said, Japanese has been my longest. I studied it for 5.5 years and was just getting to the point where I could navigate the country. I did go there for a week, so I was able to navigate, but it's a whole nother ball game trying to write. It's a whole nother ball game. We have the next winner of this award. If you would like to present this one or read this presentation, Michelle, take it away.
I absolutely would. This one goes to Alindra Cyrex from the Ronin. Freya, my sweet raccoon. This award is presented by the head triple himself, Karen Nyack. It's my great pleasure to recognize someone who has herself become something of a fussy fixture in the fleet. Her contributions aboard the Ronin, both IC and OOC, have enriched our stories and our wiki pages, and both would be laudable by themselves, but knowing that she does these things with constant warmth and good humor while simming with some personal burdens of her own makes her dedication and her charm all the more remarkable. I'm proud to recognize our ship's favorite trash panda, Lieutenant Junior Grade Alindra Cyrex, and look forward to finding her rummaging in the ship's trash bins in the months and years ahead. Congratulations to you, Freya.
Congratulations, Freya. The resident raccoon. They are adorable. They really are. The next person
They truly are.
The next person who's earned this award is Charlena Vanlith of the Amity Outpost. Roshanara Raman has this to say. Sophie, the writer for Charlena Vanlith, has been a long-term player in StarBase 118, and I had the pleasure of serving as her captain on both the USS Veritas and later Amity Outpost. Through Charlena, Sophie presents a confident, capable Ryzian Starfleet engineer who can tell you just what she's thinking through a flip of her hair. There's a whole hair gesture deciphering chart on her wiki. Gonna have to check that out. When faced with unexpected and devastating circumstances in real life with her health, Sophie advised her CO and crew that she would stay for as long as she could. She did so with not just perseverance, but ever the same creative drive she'd always brought to her sims and character arcs. We were all sad to see her need to take a formal LOA eventually, but thankfully she received wonderful news as her health improved, and we welcomed her back with warm smiles and teary eyes. It is such a joy to sim with you, Sophie, and know that we are all here for you. Congratulations, Sophie. I can't even imagine. I have enough troubles in my health, but to have something that just takes you out is just, I was gone for a year, and it wasn't for my health. It was for other reasons. And I miss this place. So grateful that she was able to come back, and I hope that her health continues to improve.
Agreed. The next award for the Sailor Clan has dropped, and it's for Elor Latek, also of the USS Eagle, and is presented by Kalyana Nicolati once more. Getting to highlight another member of the Eagle crew who comes to us as a non-native English speaker is an honor. One of our newer members, Ensign Latek, and his rider have quickly integrated and become well-loved, well-respected members of the crew. Letting no communication barrier get in the way of a good story and IC connection, Marcel brings to the simming table the tenacity to be heard, even when he might be unsure of exactly how to get the message out. I am proud and thrilled to bestow this distinction upon him.
Congratulations, Latek. It's everybody who does this in English is one of the most convoluted languages. It really is. Japanese, it might have pictographs for reading, but as a language, it's simple and it's consistent. And English is not. It just really isn't.
I truly don't remember who it was who told me this joke in the voice channel, but English is 3 languages in a trench coat pretending to be a single language, and I cannot agree with that statement more.
I feel like it's more than 3. Our next award winner for the Sailor Clan Fidelis is Gwenora Tayson, or Tayson, I think it's Tayson. Feel free to correct me, of the USS Octavia E. Butler. And this was presented by Leah Royanset, and also known as Tony, and he has this to say: returning to a crew after time away is never easy. There's always that period of readjustment, finding your character's voice again, and settling back into the rhythm of ongoing storylines. For Jess, also known as Gwen Tayson, this already challenging transition was compounded by being cut off from reliable internet access at home for several weeks, creating what could have been an insurmountable obstacle for most simmers. However, Jess refused to let these circumstances derail her participation. Instead of stepping back until her situation was resolved, which would have been completely understandable, she found creative ways to stay engaged and continue contributing. Her determination to remain active and connected to the crew, even under difficult conditions, speaks to her passion for our collaborative experience. And it is just pouring down rain on her right now. So please give your love to her, because she has really gone through a lot, and she is well-deserved award because she's been struggling, and yet she's persisted. Perseverance is the name of the game with her.
Gwen is a delightful addition to the fleet. It has been a long time since I was that happy to see a returning to active duty notice as when I saw Gwen returning to the fleet. And it really hasn't been easy for her since she came back. Everyone who can extend good vibes to Gwen should do so. She's an absolute delight, and I am sure she would be very happy to hear from y'all.
She would. We have the next Sailor Clan Fidelis Award that just dropped. Take it away, Michelle.
And this is extended to Jelana Rajel, or everyone's favorite Commodore on the USS Constitution B. And it's presented by your first officer, Dismim Chitnulmani. When it comes to adversity and pushing through, Jess is it. I have been their friend for a long time and seen them deal with a lot of things, but this year, they were put through the ringer. Jess suffered the loss of their husband, and even through that, they continued to sim on the Constitution and gave their all. I cannot imagine anyone more tough and deserving of this award, and I'm very honored to be able to present to them the Sailor Clan's Syphilis. You are the best, Jess. I cannot imagine anyone stronger than you. I mean, preach to the choir. Massive congratulations to you, Commodore.
Massive congratulations. I love my husband. I cannot imagine losing him, but to lose him and to be able to continue to participate, that's a lot of strength, because this place means a lot to me, and I think it's a testament to how much this place means to Jess as well.
And not only participate, but lead a ship.
Absolutely.
And Jelana has led the Constitution for so very long. No one at all would have faulted them for maybe stepping back for a little bit. But frankly, I think Jess is incapable of it. I think they would miss the Constitution far too much to have it take like even a slight LOA.
Hey, I agree, and I'm grateful that, you know, we have a community here and we're here for her. We're here for all of you. If you're struggling, talk to someone. If you know, let them know. Just communicate. You know, we can't counsel because we're not equipped for that, but we're here to support and encourage. So, you know, just talk to your CO if you're struggling, and we're here to support and encourage everyone here.
And the next award dropped, and it's for one of yours, Amanda.
It is. So I'm going to take this one if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
This goes to Josh Herrick of the USS Octavia E. Butler and was presented by Tony, also known as Leah Ruyanset. This year, Josh Herrick, was faced with a personal tragedy. During this sad and challenging period, Mark maintained excellent communication with the OEB crew, keeping us informed while continuing to contribute meaningfully, both in character through his simming and out of character in our ship discussions. I hoped for sure, that Mark's participation in 118 provided him with a welcome escape and the comfort that comes from being part of a supportive community during the mourning process. His continued presence and contributions, despite those circumstances, have been deeply appreciated by all of us and speak to the kind of person and simmer he is. Congratulations, Josh. It's so hard for me, you know, to see this happen to people that are in this group. I wish I could just help, but you guys are just examples of perseverance and strength, and so I appreciate you guys showing that to us. I really don't have words. I'm so bad at this. I really just don't have words to.
Well, I also think that this award in particular is something that's difficult to present because of it. It brings to mind that people that we care about in everyday life goes through things that we can't help them with because of the distance between us. But it's our way of showing that our heart is with them, even if we can't physically be there.
Absolutely. And we have another winner of the Zayla Clan's Phyllis Award, also from the Octavia E. Butler.
And it's Ensign Sky Shepherd, and it's presented by Tony once more. Since joining the fleet last year, Zenith Sky Shepherd has faced several personal challenges that could have easily derailed her participation, but she continued again and again to reaffirm her interest in and dedication to simming, including a continued commitment to growth and improvement. She has consistently worked to enhance her skills and deepen her participation in a kind of perseverance in the face of adversity that speaks to both her character and her genuine passion for simming with 118. Congratulations to you, Ensign Shepherd.
Congratulations. She's a new addition to the Butler, but she came in and she's got some beautiful, skillful writing. If you have a chance to read some of her sims, go take a look. So just keep persevering, keep writing. We're here and appreciate that you're part of our group despite all the challenges that you face. And now
And the next one has already dropped.
Yes. This one is Vanille from the USS Chindoka, presented by Sarala. I've had the pleasure of writing with Renee, the writer behind Vanille, for a few years now. I've always been impressed with her ability to overcome her challenges. She's brought a lot of depth and skill to our story while overcoming some obstacles that many might find daunting. I'm proud to have her on my crew and look forward to writing with her for years to come. Congratulations, Vanille. I really appreciate that this is not limited to one person, because we unfortunately, you know, we all have lives and things happen. And to say that we can't recognize the struggles that people face, I think just it wouldn't be right. So I appreciate that we have the opportunity to acknowledge and applaud those who continue to push through despite the circumstances
And agreed.
that they face.
And yet another award has dropped that is really showing that 2024 and 2025 have been a year where many of our members truly went through the ringer. This one goes to Tholen Chichlet. I don't know how to say Andorian names. Tholen Chiclex from the USS Eagle, and is presented by Kaliana Nicolati. Upon first joining the crew of the Eagle, I had no idea that the writer between Tholen Chiclex was not a native English speaker. The manner in which the character was written conveyed an intricate grasp of the rules that rarely make sense, even to those of us who call it our first language. Choosing to portray a character far removed from our reality as an Andorian, the writer behind it all manages to fool us all into thinking this particular Andorian might just be real, and the writer is a native speaker. I'm honored to celebrate him with this distinction, and I'm proud to have him on the crew.
English is so weird. Like, one of those unwritten rules is adjectival order. When you have multiple adjectives that come before a noun, there's a specific order, or it just doesn't sound right. And that is, I think, one of the nuances of English that's difficult to grasp. And when I see all these people like Tholen, who, his name is Ted, who write in our community and do so beautifully, and it feels natural, and then you find out they don't even, English is not their first language. It just blows my mind. Because that is just...
English is truly a very, very frustrating language to learn. I agree.
I'm a native speaker. Are you a native speaker?
I'm not a native speaker now.
Oh, see, people like you just astound me. Oh my goodness. Well, we have another award. This one goes out to Timothy Alentonis of the USS Astraeus, presented by Mekonda Delano. Now, despite facing real-life challenges, Zephyr, aka Timothy Alentonis, has continued over many years to demonstrate unwavering tenacity and dedication to the fleet and his ship. His commitment is evident not only in his many years of service, but also in the quiet strength and consistency with which he contributes behind the scenes. From his extensive wiki expertise to his compassionate support of fellow members, Zephyr is an invaluable resource whose presence uplifts the community. His perseverance in the face of adversity is both admirable and inspiring, embodying the true spirit of this award. Congratulations, Zephyr. I've actually known him since I joined. He was around when I joined, so I've known him a long time.
Some of you people and the tenure you have in this slate continues to astound me. Just today in voice chat, I said, hey, I've been here 2 years, and someone, I will not mention names, they can call themselves out if they want to, said I'm still new. And that's just mind-boggling. Like, this is the kind of fleet where 2 years, it's nothing.
You're a toddler in the fleet. 2 years.
Yes, and it's such a weird concept when you know how short-lived many play-by-email and play-by-Discord role-playing servers are. Like, 2 years is massive for most.
Oh, yeah.
Not for StarBase 118.
No, so we're celebrating, was it 33 years? Is it 33? I've lost count. I'm getting old, and I've lost count.
It's 31 years. It's from
1994. Oh, yeah, you're right. 31 years. You're right. 31 years. See, I can't count anymore. I'm too old. But yeah, I will say he is really good about helping you out with the wiki. Like, he would come to me even when I was on LOA, knowing that I was, available to just have. It's like, hey, do you want me to help you update the wiki? Because he knew I was coming back. And I said, yeah. So appreciate all he does, and appreciate that he does it even despite the challenges that he faces.
Oh dear.
What's wrong?
This one is a lengthy one.
Oh, well.
A special commendation has landed. The special commendation is extended to
would you like me to read
from the USS Artemis, Charles Matthews from the USS Astraeus, Vanille from USS Chintoka, Dismum Chinolani from the Constitution, Eleanor Park from the Constitution, Jelana Rigel from the Constitution, Neve Galanis from Amity Outpost, Callie Nicolati from the USS Eagle, Corey Weathern from StarBase 118 Ops, and Chorus from StarBase 1. I have not skipped anyone. No, shush. And it's presented to all the recipients by Rich, also known as Roshanar Rahman. During the events of the Frontier Day blockbuster last year, coordinating the story developments and movements of multiple ships spread in distant quadrants in character IC hour by IC hour required a highly... I should have let you read this one.
You want me to read this one?
What? Required a highly skilled player in Phase 1, Gila Sadar, and later in Phases 2 and 3, an entire team of plot summary writers to produce regular dispatches that could be distributed to other ships. Furthermore, thanks to their efforts, the full events of the Starbase 118 fleet's involvement in a major piece of on-screen lore could be recorded for posterity on our wiki. Whether it was discovering that the USS Artemis A's crew was responsible for wrecking the Borg cube to a sufficiently weakened state that it fled into the gas cloud storms of Jupiter, or that the final potential devastating blow of the Borg's last directive was halted by the efforts of the USS Chintoka, we all had a chance to document the real story behind Frontier Day, an event that will be not just remembered fondly, but in full, vivid detail thanks to these dedicated members. Thank you, and well done. Perhaps the real Frontier Day was the friends we assimilated along the way.
You have been assimilated.
Congratulations to all recipients. And
that includes you, because you're Gila.
No.
Yep.
No.
Yep.
We're going to ignore that part.
No,
but
not. I do have a question, though.
Owning my part in this, I will say a massive thank you to all of you who helped with the synopsis for Frontier Day, because, man, was it work.
I was going to ask, how long did it take you to do this? And you didn't do it all at once, right? You did a little at a time?
That would have been the smart part. No. When we started with the summaries, it was just me. And I was doing it for the Artemis and for Amity Outpost and for Astreus. And it took like essentially every week my entire Sunday writing summaries. So when we got to Phase 2, I was like, I can't do this alone. I need help.
Absolutely. I'm grateful to everybody who helped, because that was a huge project. Enormous. I write summaries for the OEB and I help with the ones on the Eagle. And I can't imagine doing it for all that many ships. That was crazy. But we loved We're Kind of Crazy. All right, guys.
Writing summaries is a hidden art.
See ya. Well, I don't do summary very well, but hey. We are now into the next phase of awards. We have entered a time where we are going to recognize and applaud staff members. These are awards exclusively for fleet staff, and we don't want to undermine how important ship staff are, but we also understand that there are staff that do a wider range of tasks and participation in the fleet, for the fleet as a whole, as opposed to just the ship staff. So these awards are for fleet staff who sit on the Captain's Council. These individuals shoulder the responsibilities of leadership and play a crucial role in shaping our group's future. Now, each year, we take a moment to acknowledge the time, dedication, and effort they invest behind the scenes. Without a staff as committed as ours, the vibrant community and many activities we enjoy simply wouldn't be possible.
And as it is from upper management in many cases, it is sometimes a very thankless job, because you sometimes have to be the mean person. Spoken as a teacher, I vibe completely with that.
Absolutely. And we have our first staff award, the Honor of the Admiralty. It's for staff members who have served for a minimum of 5 years in a multitude of disciplines, from facilitating task forces, engaging with the Captain's Council, and leading with the utmost dedication. These writers volunteer their time, effort, and skill to building our game and community, and have comprehensively earned the respect and loyalty of members. This is the highest award that can be conferred upon a StarBase 118 RPG staff member under the rank of Rear Admiral. And this year, this award is given to Addison McKenzie, captain of the USS Artemis. It was presented by Leah Ruyansett, also known as Tony. And then he says, I am honored to present this year's Honor of the Admiralty to Matt in recognition of his exceptional leadership and dedication to both his crew and the fleet as a whole. As the simmer and commanding officer behind Addison McKenzie aboard the USS Artemis, Matt has consistently demonstrated the kind of nuanced leadership that makes the whole 188 community stronger. 118 community stronger. Matt's contributions are remarkable given not only the respect he's earned from his crew of simmers and his fellow COs, but also considering the breadth of responsibilities he's shouldered. For nearly 3 years now, he has successfully balanced the demanding responsibilities of ship command with extensive fleet-wide commitments. His continued service in the Academy, his willingness to step up for special projects as needed, and his role as a voice for captains as Captain's Council Member at Large, CCMAL, on the Executive Council for both 2024 and 2025, demonstrate a level of dedication that goes far beyond what's expected. Congratulations, Matt. We appreciate all that you do. And
my captain.
You're captain, my captain. You'll have to present that poem to your captain later. But really, there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And like I said, when I was, when I first joined, I had no idea. None at all. And I just realized I did not scroll down long enough. I need to read the rest of this. So he was a captain's council for both 2024 and 2025. Matt's leadership has been particularly evident during what his nominators described as a challenging year for the Artemis. Rather than allowing difficulties to diminish his broader contributions to the fleet, though, Matt has maintained his commitment to both his crew and the staff work that enables the fleet as a whole to focus on storytelling and simming. His ability to provide solid guidance not only to his own crew, but to anyone who needs it, speaks to his generous spirit and collaborative approach. The fleet wouldn't be the same without Matt's contributions, and his example continues to inspire commanding officers throughout our community. Congratulations, Matt, for a second time, because I needed to finish that. You have definitely earned this award. But there's so much that goes on behind the scenes, and it truly does. And I appreciate everything that everybody contributes to make this community what it is.
Even if it sometimes means that Matt has to get rid of some stresses by utilizing our airlock a bit too often.
Yeah, just chuck them out the airlock. We have another award that's dropped. We have the Picard Award, which is given to staff members who show an unfailing devotion to the community as well as work continually on ways to better the atmosphere of simming. And this is the highest honor given to those officers of Admiral rank.
And this year, the Picard Award is granted to Esma, also known as Rear Admiral Rivivateix of Amity Outpost, and is presented by Tony, Leah Ruyansett. Delighted and thrilled, thus don't even begin to cover how excited I am to see Rich, aka Esma, Rivivateix, Roshanara Rahman, and many others, receive the Picard Award in recognition of his extraordinary dedication and tireless service to the 118 fleet. And given the incredible scope of his contributions to StarBase 118, contributions that touch virtually every aspect of the community's operations. Outside of his long service as a CEO of the Invicta, Veritas, and Amity Outpost, the lattermost two of which he created and launched, it's difficult to find an area of 118 that he hasn't touched, including founding and administering several past and present task forces, including but not limited to the ASDB, WikiOps, and Veterans Affairs. Yet what makes his leadership exceptional and worthy of this highest honor, even among the few admirals in 118's history, isn't just the breadth of his responsibilities, but the thoughtful, caring approach he brings to each one. From mentoring new cadets through their first fleet experiences to tackling complex fleet-wide initiatives, Rich consistently demonstrates the kind of behind-the-scenes dedication that keeps the 118 community thriving. Moreover, what sets Rich apart now, and always has, is his unwavering commitment to fostering a welcoming environment, both in character and out of character. Whether through Discord interactions, forum discussions, or his work with the executive and captain's councils, he's always looking for ways to improve the experience for both staff and members, present and future. His efforts often go unnoticed by the fleet at large, for their impact is felt throughout our community. Trust me, even if you haven't interacted with Rich directly, he's had a hand, possibly many hands, in developing, refining, and/or ensuring the success of your simming experience. As Rich transitions from commanding a ship to focusing more on fleet-wide operations, we celebrate not just his past achievements, but his continued dedication to making Starbase 118 better for everyone. Congratulations, Rich, and many, many, many thanks.
Congratulations. He is so involved in this community in so many different ways. He was already a member, I think he was either lieutenant or lieutenant commander when I joined. And I remember probably one of the first friends that my character Alora had. I also remember when his character Roshanara Raman got arrested. That was fun. But to say that he contributes is an understatement. He's involved in very many things out of love for this community.
And this award does touch on what I said earlier about how a lot of the staff work doesn't necessarily get the attention of the wider fleet, not because we don't appreciate it, because so much of it happens in places most of us can't see. So, I will sometimes rip on my own captain because, he's not always available and he's not as active in the ship chat, but it's because he's putting in so much effort behind the scenes, and I'm absolutely certain it's the same for every other staff member here. Doubly so for those like Rich, who puts in massive amounts of effort in the behind-the-scenes running.
Absolutely. And I will say that if they aren't as active on the chats, that doesn't mean they're unavailable. It just means that they are, like you said, focusing on some other things. Send them an email, send them a Discord message. It's not that they don't want to be available. They are just trying to make sure that this place is as good as it can be for those who participate in it, and that is especially true for their crew.
The next award has dropped, and it's for Staff Member of the Year. This award is awarded to staff members who have contributed tirelessly to the organization through any number of out-of-character channels while maintaining excellence in simming on their vessel. This is an award granted to any staff member, regardless of rank.
And this year's award is presented to Kara Niak of the USS Ronan from Quinn Reynolds, also known as Emma. It is with a great smile on my face that I present Brian, the writer of Kara Niak, with this year's Staff Member of the Year award. This is a commendation for those who not only sim well and ensure their ship is a welcoming and collaborative place to be, but also contribute to the smooth running of the fleet. And Brian does that in spades, taking on some of the most vital and unseen roles in the fleet. As a personnel officer, he handles the sometimes tricky business of placing new cadets and returning members aboard the ships. This often involves balancing all kinds and sometimes competing factors to ensure our members get the best possible experience in our fleet. Beyond that, he facilitates transfers and assesses applications, making sure the Academy knows who to welcome to training in the following week. As a fellow personnel officer, I can attest to the consideration and thoughtfulness which he approaches the role, always with the best interests of our members at heart. He also currently serves as the Captain's Council Magistrate, a role which includes facilitating discussions on the CC, organizing votes, and ensuring all of this is recorded for posterity. One of the great things about our councils is the breadth of opinions and perspectives present, which ensures we consider topics from as many angles as possible. This can, of course, make it challenging when trying to bring those discussions to a resolution. Brian handles that task with enthusiasm, good humor, and a clear intention of listening to all, composing the vote questions with careful thought, and seeking further input when necessary. He is a passionate, dedicated, and stalwart member of the fleet who always works with its best interests in mind. I'm delighted to see him recognized for everything he's doing. So thank you, and congratulations, Brian. I remember when
Congratulations, Head Triple. Looking forward to see where you make room for that award on your beard.
I remember when he joined. I remember when you joined, Brian, with Teller,
Of course you do.
the pasty legs and the bright red hair. I remember that. I also remember here. It is awesome to see where he's gone, and I can't wait to see where he goes from here. And I appreciate everything he does for the fleet because it's a lot, and it takes a lot to keep a place like this. We have what 140 members now, 130, something like that. That's a lot of people to juggle. And when you place these cadets who graduate from the academy, you have to factor in, okay, what is their duty post? How many are in the how many are in the multiple ships and outposts and bases we have in the fleet? We want to try and get them where they want to be, but it can be kind of difficult when you have to balance. You don't want one ship to have 8 engineers and a CO and an FO. So it is more difficult than it seems.
I haven't been with the academy for very long, and I fortunately never had to go like further up than FOing an academy class. But the amount of mental chess you need to do to make sure that these ensigns get posted to a place where their talents and their storytelling preferences can really get center stage must be an immense task. It's absolutely insane.
Oh, absolutely. And, when we have a ship that's got, let's see, I think the average is what, 12? You have 12 people on a ship, and you might have to go, okay, where are they going to fit? Because that's already a lot of people. But we want to make sure that they find a home, and we want to make sure that they have an opportunity to write stories with this awesome group that we have here.
And when we're talking about Brian specifically, it's always hilarious to me because Joffrey Teller is such a legendary figure. I have never seen Joffrey Teller because I joined after he switched to Nyack, and yet I know the stories. That's how you know someone is good at writing.
Just make sure he's wearing pants, otherwise you go blind.
The next one has dropped.
It's the Strange Medallion. I always have to wonder why it's called the Strange Medallion. But this is awarded to first officers in the fleet who are consistently dependable, perform above the call of duty in their position, and excel not only in simming, but also in their dedicated, out-of-character activities. Those awarded are regarded as leaders who excel in their facilitation of their crew, raising the bar and lifting up simmers to the podium. This is named after Commander Sally Strange. Oh, that's why. It's answered here. Widely known as one of the most creative and dedicated first officers of the fleet's early years. I just had to read the description, and then I would know.
No, see, I'm convinced they put that sentence in just so I couldn't make a joke that the reason it's called the Strange Medallion is because of who's receiving it. Because it's Anya Sherlock from the USS Chintoka. Congratulations, Jared. It's presented to you by your captain, Sarala, and this is what he says. Since stepping into the role of first officer of the USS Chintoka, Anya Sherlock, Jared, has exemplified the qualities of leadership and mentorship that we need in our leaders. From day one, his transition into the role of my first officer was seamless and demonstrated a collaborative mindset and deep commitment to the success and well-being of both the ship and the wider fleet. Jared took over the mentorship program upon ship launch and has excelled in this role. In addition to his abilities in administration, what truly sets him apart is his character. He leads with humility, listens to everyone, and then applies the feedback into a well-thought-out plan. Jared is well known for being approachable and friendly, and he understands that true leadership isn't just about authority, but rather lifting others up and growing alongside them, creating a culture of mutual respect and support. He's also hard at work backing me up as his CEO, stepping in whenever needed and doing so without missing a step. His consistency and willingness to do whatever is needed to make the ship and fleet a success make him an invaluable member of both our ship and the wider community. He doesn't just perform the duties of a first officer, he embodies them. For his reliability, leadership, and dedication to our community, I'm proud to present Anya Sherlock with the Strange Medallion. Congratulations. And don't worry, Jared, I'm going to go back to insulting you now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I remember when he joined too, and just I knew he was going somewhere. So I was very glad to find out that he was chosen as the first officer when the USS Chintoka relaunched under Sarala, because it just felt like a great place for him to land. It felt like that really was something he would be good at. I I just am so proud of Jared and what he's accomplished. And yes, please, absolutely do insult him because he'll take it, and he's a joy to insult.
Oh, Jared has been very vocal on multiple occasions that if we start being too nice to him, he gets icked out. So everyone, remember to get all the congratulations in now because he's gonna be leaving soon. He can't handle all of this positive attention.
Also, ask him about Oreos.
And everyone, yell it with me. Medical defiant.
But definitely ask him about the Oreos. Don't forget the Oreos. He'll tell you all about the Oreos. He knows what I'm talking about too.
Oreos. And the next one has dropped. This is the Chief's citation, and it's awarded to essential staff members whose determined work has benefited the group in character and or out of character, even while their primary service was not as the commanding officer of a simming installation. Inspired by the non-commissioned and enlisted personnel who are the backbone of any starship, but were rarely recognized in Star Trek lore in favor of the officers.
And this year, this award is given to Vailani Zoyara of the USS Artemis. It was presented by Captain Addison McKenzie. And this is what Captain McKenzie has to say. Liv, writer for Vailani Zoyara, or also known as Luxa Lorana, seems to have developed a knack for picking up the slack. I've had the privilege of knowing Liv since she joined 118, Artemis was her first posting, and watched with excited anticipation as she joined the Ronin as part of her launch crew. Since then, it has been great to watch her from afar as she joined the Ronin staff and the Academy as a trainer. I know that during her time on the Ronin, she helped step in after the departure of one of their senior ship staff members. After my XO on the Artemis was facing difficulty in their real-life obligations and needed to step down, Liv was the first person on my mind to replace him. Since rejoining the Artemis as its first officer, Liv has had a no-nonsense attitude and has demonstrated herself to be someone who can get the work done, whether that be in mentorship, mission development, or taking the temperature on the crew and offering feedback. Here's what one of her recommenders had to say. In times of great tumult and IRL difficulties, it falls on the most hardworking of people to pick up what tasks have been left by the wayside. Nowhere is this most evident that in the work of Liv Luxa Lorana of the USS Ronin. After their 2O, or second officer, went on LOA due to becoming a mother, a lot of staff work behind the scenes was picked up by Liv, whose workhorse mentality and reliability has proven a bottomless resource for Captain Nyack. She is one of the most thorough and dutiful members I've ever seen, and she's not afraid of setting expectations and limits for her mentees to ensure they develop their skills as writers and storytellers. When the Artemis's first officer unexpectedly went on an LOA at the beginning of their current mission, it was also Liv, who serves in the Artemis with her secondary as our chief of ops, who volunteered to fill in for him not only as the leader of our away team, but as our new XO, even while still assisting with running a mission on the Ronin. I'm sure I speak for all Ronins when I say that Liv's absence will be felt most heavily, and it's because she manages to make herself such a vital part of ship operations, no matter the ship she serves on, that I nominate her for the Chief Citation Award this year. Congratulations, Liv. It's very well deserved. I've not had the opportunity to really do any writing with her, but I've had the pleasure of just interacting with her in out of character, and she's just such a sweet person. I really enjoy talking with her.
I mean, truly, if you look up the word workhorse in the dictionary, you will find Liv's photo there. It's absolutely insane, the kind of dedication she has for this fleet. I have been in Brian's DMs repeatedly telling him to offer her the proper rewards for all of the stuff she's done, because damn no, she'll never ask for it herself. And that's the fun thing about staff awards, because staff members don't necessarily nominate themselves for these things. So it's up to us to kind of realize that the staff members are doing all of these things for us and then remember to nominate them for it. Because otherwise, as I said before, their work goes unnoticed, and that's simply not okay. That's not to be done.
My second favorite thing about awards is writing nominations. My first favorite thing is reading all the wonderful things about those who've won the awards, especially when one of my nominations is quoted. I absolutely love that. And I love that to have people who work hard and help make this community as wonderful as it is, like Liv, get awarded for their hard work and dedication. It really is truly appreciated.
And I do think that it's very, very nice to have a staff like the staff awards. They don't just recognize the captains, they recognize people like Jared and Liv, who are the up and coming leadership. We're like, those are the people that we're looking to lead the fleet into the future.
Absolutely. And if you are interested in that, talk to your staff, say, hey, I want to help out more. I want to do what I can for the fleet. You know, it's just something, they would really appreciate because there's a lot that has to be done. And we appreciate any and all help, but we appreciate people like Liv who go above and beyond and who step into roles that may not have been expected, like the first officer role. And that's not an easy task. It really isn't. And the next award has dropped. This award is the Christopher Pike Pendant. It's awarded to commanding officers who commanded their ship with honor and dedication and helped to provide a creative atmosphere which fosters outstanding simming. Not only do they lead by significant and exceptional examples, but they engineer their vessels to be inspirational and creative powerhouses for all who sim aboard.
This award is rewarded to the head tribble himself once more, Kared Nayag of the USS Ronin, and is presented by Roshanara Rahman, otherwise known as Rich. You can always tell when a commanding officer has truly made a mark with their crew, when crew members feel comfortable engaging in playful interactions with their captain, and yes, occasionally even teasing them. But through it all, you can feel the sheer love and pride they have serving under their captain's command. From the enthusiasm of his crew, Fleet Captain Kared Nayag, and specifically Brian, the man who plays Nayag, has earned this achievement, and it's not hard to see why. Brian promotes an atmosphere on his ship focused on creativity, kinship, and joy. His love for the fleet is clear in everything he does, including his service as the Captain's Council Magistrate and as one of the fleet's personnel officers. Years ago, Brian was presented with an exceptionally challenging mission of heading to another simming installation in distress as its new first officer. Having established a stimulating and fun home on his ship, where he had formed deep friendships and riding partnerships with members like Addison Mackenzie and Will Eukinix, Brian thoughtfully considered the consequences and difficulties that would face him. He'd have to leave his friends, his planned story arcs with others, and a ship that had become a cherished creative outlet during a major milestone chapter in his life when he became a father. After careful deliberation, he chose to accept the assignment. In his departure remarks to his crewmates, Brian explained what he hoped for with his efforts. When I joined SB-118 in October of 2018, I never expected to make the kind of deep, genuine friendships that I have made while I've ridden with all of you aboard the Verita. It has been a source of great and regular joy for me to work with all of you and to watch characters and stories mature and bloom under the combined brilliance of an incredible group of people. It is, in point of fact, why I decided to accept the role in the embassy. Everyone in the fleet deserves the opportunity to be supported and as nurtured and as embraced as I've been here. Through that assignment, Brian emerged with a laser-sharp focus and a sense of purpose to his own personal mission that he would always work tirelessly to care for the players under his command. Congratulations, Brian, and thank you for all that you do to provide a creative and fulfilling home for so many. To the head tribble himself, Ronan Strong.
Congratulations, Brian. Okay, tell me about this head tribble thing. What's up with that?
It is a joke. Like Rich points out in his award presentation, Brian really manages to create the aura or atmosphere that he's available for just, joking and playful bantering And despite never having had the opportunity to ride on the same ship as him for longer than a guesting period, I've also been able to enjoy a playful banter with him. And surrounding the beard, it is a running gag that it is in fact a triple that has decided to rest on Brian's face.
Okay, I could see that.
So obviously he is the king of all triples.
Understood. Yeah, I could totally see. Yeah, definitely looks like a triple dip.
And he has yet another award to pin on that thing. So congratulations, Brian.
And he is certainly a fountain of dad jokes.
Oh, absolutely. It's the worst part of him.
And the best part, right?
If I say that out loud, we're going to have to answer DMs later, so I prefer not to comment.
Well, it's like we have another award.
This is the Sarek Star, and it's awarded to commanding officers who show great diplomatic ability in working with members and staff related to conduct out of character, organization, collaboration, mentorship, and ultimately making our game tick can be challenges in every respect. But those staff members awarded with this have a clear ability to walk those lines.
This year, the Sarek Star is awarded to Addison McKenzie of the USS Artemis, and her award is presented by Quinn Reynolds. It is an absolute delight to present to Matt the writer behind Addison McKenzie with the Sarek Star. It's an award which recognizes the diplomatic skill it takes to help run a community like ours, filled with a diverse breadth of opinions, perspectives, and ambitions. In all my dealings with him, Matt has impressed me with his ability to listen to all sides of a debate, his ability to cut through the fluff to the heart of the issue, and act in an even-handed and considerate way to all. As the captain at large, he acts as a liaison between the executive and captain's councils, keeping the CC informed about the EC's activities and acting as the voice of the CC to the EC. He handles all of this with a commendable mix of professionalism, good humor, and razor-sharp insight. People walk away from discussions feeling as though he's considered an angle they never would have thought of, and he accomplishes with such decency no one feels a fool. So many of his nominations came from crew expressing their admiration and amazement for his ability to navigate difficult interpersonal situations with patience, kindness, and fairness. It's often tricky in text-based media to convey genuine empathy, but it's clear his crew feels heard, respected, and supported in all of their interactions with him. Many spoke about his grace and understanding, the way he encourages all of his crew to embrace their potential, and how his calm and reasoned approach is something to aspire to. Congratulations, Matt. We are very lucky to have you here, and thank you for everything you do for our community. I have not had the opportunity to write with Matt. In fact, I joined the Thor, and I think a day or two later, he left to be the first officer on another ship. And I'm just like, man, I wanted to write.
You missed out on so many things.
I wanted to write with him. But there's always the opportunity. There's always the opportunity. You could do a joint voice. But it is obvious the respect that so many people have for him, because even though I haven't really had the opportunity to write with him or interact with him on a lot, I've just heard so many positive things and how people really appreciate him and how he approaches them with respect and kindness.
Whether it's respect or it's fear, two very different things.
Well, the old meaning of fear is respect.
Don't say that out loud. Matt's in here.
Oh, we have another award that has dropped. The James T. Kirk Cross. This award is given to new commanding officers who show outstanding potential in the field of commanding. Their advancement into commanding their own ship can be fraught with challenges, but the receiver of this award has met them head-on with vigor.
And the James T. Kirk Cross this year is awarded to Sarala, the commanding officer of the USS Chintoka, and it's presented by Tony. This is what he says. This year's James T. Kirk Cross finds a very deserving recipient in Jim, aka Captain Sarala, in recognition of his outstanding leadership during his first year as commanding officer of the Chintoka. The James T. Kirk Cross celebrates new commanding officers who demonstrate exceptional potential in the field of command, and Jim exemplifies everything this award represents. Jim's first year in command has been marked by the kind of challenges that test a captain's mettle. From managing the evolving dynamics of a new crew to resolving conflicts and mentoring players with varying needs and expectations, he has faced each obstacle with dedication and thoughtfulness. There are several hallmarks of Jim's approach to command: patience, diplomacy, and an unwavering commitment to putting his crew's best interests first. His leadership style embodies the important but difficult qualities present in the best COs. He listens before acting, judges fairly, and maintains compassion even in the face of difficult situations. Through his steady, principled approach, Jim has created an environment where players feel seen, supported, and part of something greater. His ability to establish clear expectations while fostering creativity and growth has resulted in a cohesive ship culture that thrives under his guidance. Jim's promotion to captain this year reflects not just his personal growth, but the strong foundation he has built through his crew-focused leadership. His grace under pressure and ability to navigate troubled waters while maintaining his principles make him a shining example of what new commanding officers can achieve. Well done, and congratulations, Jim.
And I have to agree with that. He is such a steady presence, very calm, and the kind of person that will listen to you and consider all angles before, really kind of giving his input. And it's a fair, he will always give you a fair opportunity to present your position, and he will always listen. So he's definitely a very laid back but also understanding person. So if you don't know Jim, you should get to know Jim. He's a pretty cool guy.
For the voice channel regulars, you know that there's a running gag where I have to call the Chintoka the Juby ship, because at this point, if I stop doing it, I have lost the game. And by extension, that would make Jim the prison warden. But from everything I've heard of him, he is an amazing CO, and he manages to get a ship of very strong-willed and very big personalities to corroborate and tell amazing stories. The missions I've read of the Chintoka are genuinely quite outstanding. And I definitely feel like this first year of the Chintoka's runtime this go around has definitely been put to good use. And that can be attributed to Jim and to some lesser extent his strange first officer.
And I think we should officially have a Hug a CO Day. I really do think we need to have one of those. We have our...
Can you come and hug my captain then? Because I'm too scared for that.
I'll do it. We have our final award for this evening. It has just dropped.
And it's the Catherine Janeway Award, awarded to retired commanding officers who have made a great impact on their crew and left an indelible legacy on our community history.
This year, this award is given to Esma, also known as Roshanara Raman, Vatikes, right? Of Amity Outpost, and is presented by Commodore Saul Tayram. Rich, known for his magnificent menagerie of characters, including, which we're going to go through again, Esma and Roshanara Raman, is the epitome of the Catherine Janeway Award. A longtime commanding officer, he built Amity Station as one of the most prestigious postings in StarBase 118's history. He has fostered and trained multiple commanding officers, including 4 that came up through the ranks under his command, and set his own crew up for continued long-term success on Amity. He also serves as a mentor and respected source of advice for many new and continuing commanding officers for the better part of a decade. Beyond that, Rich has been a driving force for the continual improvement and growth of our organization for over a decade. He has served as a member of the Executive Council for many years, is the current Executive Council Magistrate, and has been an integral leader of the Wiki Ops team, the Advanced Starship Design Board, and the Department of Veteran Affairs. Since his retirement, he continues to mentor commanding officers and work tirelessly for the improvement of the game. Beloved by his crew, Rich's contributions positively impact every player in the game. We wish Rich an awesome and relaxing retirement and hope gets to enjoy telling stories in the beautiful playground he helped to create. Congratulations, Rich. Well deserved. He recently retired after being a long time commanding officer.
Yes, it's very recent. It's like what, 4 months ago? It was like at the end of March, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was pretty recent, but he's been in this group. Like I said, he was here already and not no longer in lower decks when I joined back in 2013. So he's been a major part of this group for a very long time. So we appreciate everything he's done. He is set up in a fantastic establishment. A creative, like Saul said, a creative playground, a beautiful playground. Um, and that's it for the awards for today. We have one more day, guys, tomorrow, and we'll give out an announcement about that. But we thank everyone for coming to join us here. Michelle, thank you for joining me again as a fellow host. I really appreciate your time, and I have just enjoyed doing this with you. I enjoy seeing everyone who gets the awards that they deserve, and I hope to see everybody tomorrow.
And everyone, hug a staff member. Amanda has made it official. You can blame her if the captain thinks it's weird.
Hug your CO especially. Hug your CO and your first officer. All right, everyone.
And everyone, have a wonderful night.